Okay, hi guys. On this one, we're going to learn about creating filters where we can have maybe a find, which will be a multi-parameter filter using the Django filter package, where we can search the males and find all the males, filter the 20 certain year, filter a certain program, filter a certain completion year or something like that. We can see how many males do apply statistics and just do those sort of filters. And we're going to learn on it on this one. Something I want to rectify before we continue. I want to make this one a little bit smaller. It's too wide. And then I want to add new student here. So I want to add another one like this one here. So okay, we'll start by going to this one, which is the dashboard. And remember, when you go to the dashboard, you'll find there is total stats, which is this top part. And then there is student creation, which is this one. And this is where we find this. On this, we can find, I'm not sure if it had this. It may be like this. If you save this and refresh, it's if it looks like this, you have to remove this, delete this, save that, refresh, and you can see it becomes smaller and looks a little bit better. You can also just give it dimensions if you want. You can add this div class here, and then you give it some dimension dash c dash md dash maybe something like 5. Save that, refresh, and you can see depending on the size that you want. Maybe if you want 6, it looks like that, but let me just have maybe 2. Refresh this, refresh this. I think this looks nice. And also you can just remove it, save, refresh, and it will give it a specific dimension. But why I want it to have this is because I want it to move further away from this line. So what I will do, I will just return it like that, save that, refresh, and I think it looks a little bit better. Then we want to add this. Start from here, HR. We want to add this the way we did it here. And to include that, copy that on to the student form, onto this. So we'll come here, go to the last point, paste it there, save it, go back here, refresh, students, and now we have add new student here at the bottom. The reason I did that is so that we can just add a student as we want. Okay, this looks nice. Now let's go on to building the filters. Building the filters, we use this package. It's called the Django filter package. And when you open this Django filter documentation, you'll find so many things here that you can work with. And the first thing you need to do is install Django filter. Then you need to add it to the installed apps on the settings.py, as you can see here, and that's what we will do. So we will go to the CDM, this, and we'll just create a new one. Then we'll do pip install Django filter. I think I'll just copy this. I don't need to write it down. Copy it, paste it there, enter. Requirement already satisfied. I had already installed it, so perfect. You can close this one out, go back to our code, go to the settings.py, and go to the installed apps. And what have they said? We need to add that that Django dash filter. Sorry, put this marks first. Django filter, comma, Go back here. Is it Django dash underscore? It's underscore, not dash. Sorry, underscore filter. Save this. Perfect. Now we have installed the Django filter. And let's go back to this. No module Django dash filter. Okay. No module Django dash filter, but I have installed it. Yeah, it was installed. Let's just continue before Django dash filter. Written it correctly. Filters. Save this. Go back here. Okay. Okay. There's an issue. Okay, we've added Django.filter underscore filters. Okay, the problem from Django.models.fields import field does not exist. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Because I think when I remove this, save, and then go back here, the server is working correctly. Add student, it's working correctly. I just think there's like a problem there, but let's continue and see how it works. So I'll just return this, save this. Okay, so what I think I'll do, I'll just do a very quick pip and install. I will uninstall this Django filter that I have. Enter. Yes. Then I will reinstall it, because probably the Django filter that I was using for my other projects was not incompatible with what I have right now. Just install this. Okay. Run server again. Okay, see if it's working. Perfect. Okay, let's now proceed to creating the filters themselves. And that had given me quite a problem there, but now it's working. Now what we want to do is create, like we created the form.py, this one. What we want to do now is create another one called filter.py, where we will host most of our filtering, basically our filtering form, using the new Django package, Django filter package that we've just installed. Okay, so we want to create it, inside here. So new file, save this, call it filters, call it filter or filters, let me just call it filters.py, enter. And we'll do some quick importations here. We'll just import Django filters, Django underscore filters, enter. This is the one that you have just installed. Then we'll also install import. So we'll do the importation of from dot models import. We'll just import all the models. So that's how we import all. Then we create a class just like we did on forms.py. So we just create a class. We'll call it a student filter. This is a name convention. You can use anything, which will inherit from Django filters. Oh, what's going on? Django filters dot filter set. Yeah, Django filter set. I think that's how you do it. But you can see these things are in the documentation that we talked about. So to be completely sure, you just check the documentation. But I think that's correct. Then we're going to write a different class here. Call it meta, just like we did the other one, and it will take the model. It'll be equal to the model that we have. The name was student. Let me just copy this. It will take the model, the student model, and field I want it to filter all. We'll save this. Then we will go to the views.py, open this views.py, go to this student data that contains the student data HTML that we had. First thing I want to do, I want to create context here. Let it be equal to, let me just add this there. Can actually just cut this or cut that, remove that. Perfect. So we can add a couple other things here. On the views, we'll go and import something here first. So we'll go from filters, from dot filters. So from this one, this filter.py, we want it to import the filter that we just created, which we call the student filter. We call it the student filter. Okay, this dot student filter. This is what we call it, student filter. Continue. We have imported that. Now we want to go to this one, and that's just create a new variable here, which we'll just call my filter. Let me just give it some space. We'll just call it my filter, which will be equal to student filter, and then we want to add this my filter. Let's copy it, add it here. Colon that. Perfect. Then what we want to do, we have done that. Now on this student.html, we want to go to the student.html now. We want to create a sort of form and like a button that will be clicked to search. So what we'll do here, we'll create a form. We want it to be on top. Let's just put it on top here. So we'll start maybe with a HR. Then we'll create a form. And then inside this form, we want it to have a button. Basically the search button that we want. And we want this form to have a method, which will be get. Okay, let me just I think get, let me put it in small letters. And then this button, we want it to have a class inside here, which will be btn success. And we also want something else here. Let's add a type. Let's add a type. Okay, type submit. Okay, then the button itself will be search. What else do we need? Okay, I think that's good. Just make it stay there. Submit. Now we want to add our filter here. The way to do that, we'll use the braces like that. Then we'll add my filter. But in this one, you had to add a my.form. Not like there's one completely, but it looks like that. Okay, everything is nice. So let's save this. Look at our... Okay, no break. We'll go back to this student. Okay, it hasn't created it yet. So on top here, I've created a new... I had created a new a new table section, and it will be called it will have a form, and it will have a search button, which has not appeared yet. But okay, let's just see why is that. Let's save this, go back, refresh. Yeah, we have this search button here, but it does not have a couple of things that we've created. Our server is working fine. I think this green one looks a little bit funny. We also changed that from success to probably info, or a blue one, but no problem. Let's first sort why my filter is not appearing here. Let's go back to the code. Filter, it's fine. Save that. Models, everything is fine. We've saved everything. Let's refresh this. Okay, we have affected even the database itself. Filter, view. Okay, we have not added context here, sorry. Save that, refresh this. Awesome. So I had not added the context because I replaced it here, but that's why it was affected. But now it's working. So we can search for a certain program, BSc, enter, search. Okay, it's not yet applied, but we can see the filter has appeared here with everything that we need, and a search button here. Let's see what the problem might be on this other side. Okay, something I have realized I have not done is that this needs to perform a query in order to render the information that we need it to search for. So we'll go back here. Let me just that green one is looking very awkward for me. I'll make it primary. Save that, refresh. Now it looks blue. I think it looks nice. Let's now try and perform a certain query so that it can process the information that we want to look for. This is just a form that we have created here, but without us rendering a certain query, it will not work properly. So let's go back to our code and now form a certain kind of a query on the views.py. We want to create a query here. Sorry, let's just do this first view layout, 2 of them. Take this to this side. This is not important. Creation is not important now. Settings, we've already done that. I take it to this side. Perfect. Okay, so on our views.py, what we want to do here, I like it when it's this side. I just throw the models on this side. On our views.py here, we want to add something inside here. On this student data, we want now this information that is here, we want kind of to get a get request, request.get. Then on that we can tell it whatever information is there, it renders it, and what the new information that has been query set that has been put on that data. If it's looking for BSc statistics, it now refreshes this student all the objects, and renders the new objects as the ones that have been filtered out. And this is how we do it. Inside here, we're going to add requests.get. Okay, then we are going to add a query set here, which will be equal to we'll add a query set here which will be equal to the students. So this basically, this query set is being sent to this data. So whatever request is here will be sent to this data, and after that we now change these students from what it is, the students from being the whole data, everything. We want it to be this my filter here dot query set. So this is what is happening. The students gathers all the information. This variable now student is gathering all the information from the database. So when we look here, we'll find all the information in the database. When we look here, then what we want to do, we want it to go through this my filter, and then this my filter, whatever gets there, whatever is being filtered there, it requests and it gets all this information, and then it applies it on the query set, which is the students. So out of all of them, if you are filtering male, it filters that and then converts this student now from being everything to being what has been queried. Let's save this, go back here, refresh this, applied statistics. Applied statistics, search, and now we get only the applied statistics students. And if we want maybe people from 2020, 2014, enter. No one from 2014. Okay, no one enrolled in 2014, 2015. One person enrolled in 2015 who was Mike, who was statistics. And if you want the females, you can write M, enter, and perfect. We got all the males here. You can get all the females. You can see there's a problem here because small f is not working, capital F will work. So there's a couple of things that we can do on the filter to tell it to ignore the case, because if we put this and then we have a capital S here, it will not work, but a small s will work. And if you have a capital S here, it will not work, and if you have a small s, it will work. And you can see how good this one is, in that you can have computer science here, then have female, and it will tell you all the females in computer science. So it is multi-parameter search. Okay, let's now work on just simplifying and perfecting this specific perfecting this filtering process. Okay, so the way to make it better, we can come here and import a couple of things. We can import so from this Django you can get this thing called char filter, which is basically a character filter. So what's happening? From this, import this. Perfect. Then inside here, the name of the thing that probably, let's say we want to change this program so that it contains, because you can see maybe if you want to write stats, it will not bring out statistics, star, you can see, or BSc, it's not bringing anything. We want it to contain a couple of things. It contains there, or just eliminates the character case. If it's capital or small, it does not care. So we want to change this program, and what we want to do to this is we want to use this thing that we've just imported right now. Then we want it to have these following parameters. So the field name, so we want to say field underscore name. We want it to be equal to program, that, comma, and now the lookup expression expr. And the lookup expression, we want it to be equal to, if rate contains, if rate contains, it will tell us everything that is contained there. You can save this, go back here. If you go here and just write BSc, enter, it brings all the BSc. But notice that if you write BSc, it still works. Okay, start, perfect. It gives us everything that is contained inside there. So okay, perfect. Applied, perfect. Comp, you can see it's working perfectly. And let's just throw an I contain here for perfect measure. This makes it more dynamic. Refresh this, and it's working good. I don't remember any other one that we had. We just had those three. So if you write sci, things computer science, good. If you want to know the people in the math department, you can see them here. And then probably the females in the math department. Oh, we need to add this to also all of them, including name. So we'll add in program, gender, and the name. Gender, program, name, email. Because you can see if you write the big F, it works. Small f does not work, and that's not convenient for us. Okay, let's just clear these filters. Search, you can see all the students here. And now let's just copy paste this. We have one for name, one for email, one for gender. So we write here gender. Note that if you write a wrong spelling and save, if you refresh, you can see gender, it will be still here. And it has called it program. That is not a good example. But if you don't write the correct name here, it will affect how it is called. If you don't write a good name here, it will affect this. You can see invalid name, you see. So make sure you just write everything correctly. So we'll have gender, copy this, paste it here. Then we'll have email, copy this, paste it here. And then we'll have name, copy this, paste it here, save, refresh. So if you write a small f, if you write capital F, small m, capital M, it does not affect. And or the email, I want to know people with Gmail. You can see all the people with Gmail. Yeah, it works perfectly. If you look for Nganga with a spelling like that, you'll still find me. Perfect. Search, get everything else. Awesome. Now we have created a very good dynamic search filter using the Django filter. There's so many things. If you read this documentation, you can find so many ways of working with this Django filter. It explains to you how to install it, how it works, etc., etc., showing you if you want a price range. Let's say you want a price range, or you want a range between a certain, for example, if you want to know people who enrolled between a certain year and a certain year, people who enrolled between 2014 and 2016, you can who enrolled between 2016 and 2017, you can have that filter here, or people completed between a certain year, and you can have all those filters. Just reading the documentation is very good, prevents a lot of Stack Overflow search. But remember, Stack Overflow is also very important. People always give very amazing ideas there. Okay, it works perfectly. Dashboard, you can add new student, and now we need to work on entering data, because the data provided is in Excel form. How can we enter the Excel form inside this admin panel? Student, maybe there's no way we can add an Excel file. Maybe just add a student and add them, and if you have like 1,000 students, it will not work properly. So we'll work on knowing how to just add new students using Excel. We'll also learn on how to create a sign up, so that people have to sign up to see this data, and creating restrictions for people going to the admin panel. If you don't want to be them to be there, if they're not a lecturer, if they're just students, you want them just to view this and view this only. But for lecturers, we want them to view everything else and maybe be able to add new students, etc., etc. So thank you for watching. I hope it was informative. Let's meet in the next one. Adios.